People used to always ask me why I rode bulls. I used to tell them, because I was scared, and I hated having that fear hanging over me. And it's crazy now how that fear turned into a dream. And I see where it brought me. I couldn't imagine having a life without dreams or without goals. I couldn't imagine having a life where I was just caught up in, everything repetitive. I want to teach others.
What up? What up? Where you been at?
So what we getting middle between us?
Where do I want you at? You want them to be right here. Okay? Cool. Keep the horses up. Yep.
I want to teach people, how to be employable outside of what their community gives them, how to show initiative.
Until I know y'all get the hang of it, I'll let you guys get in a little bit closer. Walk in a circle.
I grew up on the east side of Denver, and, not a bad neighborhood. I grew up going to school during the week. All the people would tease me, tell me, not all of them, but I had people tease me, say, go back to the country. You go on the weekends, you go to the rodeo, people tell you, hey, go back to the city. So, the fact that I never really had a place where I felt like I fit in, it forced me to be different and be outside the box. And I learned that I thrive on that.
That's how you get his head up.
How you turn to see your right?
Pusher, my man. My man.
Got too much work on the ground. Pick it up.
It's all right.
I'd pull in a park, I'd get all these kids rounded up, they'd come running when they seen my truck and trailer. 3 of the kids who had been through my program, they got matched up with a kid who was new to this, I'd get 3 or 4 kids that kind of represented what we were doing because they had been out to my place, they had been spending time with horses, they had been cleaning stalls, they knew their way around a horse.
You embarrassing yourself.
Shane, you letting this man work you? You got to keep your horse moving.
They showed me that they were responsible enough to take on another job. So as I met these kids here at the park, I have no real way of watching them all, and I have 3 extra hands that know their way around the horse. The best logical thing is to show them, hey, for this all to work in your community, I need your help. Every single time that I've seen a kid that I've taught him something and he's around his friends, first thing that they want to do is go teach someone else.
Slow down, say, whoa. Whoa. Hold this, you gotta hold this, you gotta pull it back. Whoa.
You're taking a kid who is a student, teaching him something and allowing him to be the teacher. What does that do for his self-confidence?
Whoa.
Well, see, Jamon lived in Denver. He lived in a big city, and I lived in a small town 125 miles south of Denver, Pueblo. And he would come down and visit me. And I told him, I said, I don't care about you coming down here. I said, but you might as well try to learn something while you come down. When you come down here, don't come down here to jack around. I said, because I don't have time for it. I said, come down here to learn something. I said, it might benefit you further on down the road. You might think it's a bunch of hogwash right now, but it'll do you some good down the road as you grow in material. I said, you might find some use for it. I didn't know, at that time, I didn't know that it would develop into a situation like this. I said, I won't teach, I won't have nothing to do with your bull riding. I understand you bull riding now. I said, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I said, but that's your project. I said, but try to learn everything you can about training horses that I can teach you. Here, 31 years later, he's doing this on his own. He made the most out of it. That made me happy. That makes me happy now.
You know, you think about a young horse, that horse's nature is just to do. You know, it's not, he doesn't know right from wrong. Kid ain't no different. Take a young man or young woman who don't got no guidance, nobody's teaching them, you know, how to take care of themselves, how to have a legal hustle, earn a job, make their own job.
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna tell you like this here, man. I was locked up, started at 14 years old. TYC, boot camp, Harris County, evading arrest, burglary, dope case, pistol case. If I had a lead of my life, a guidance, I'm talking about an inch. I ain't talking about no mile, I ain't talking about no foot of grass, I'm talking about just an inch. If I had that, I'd been a better person than what I do now. Take care of horses, I clean stalls, I fix gates. I mean, I fix windows, I fix a lot of things around here. I ain't know nothing about this when I left that big city. When I first walked through them gates, I'm like, what am I doing? What I got myself into? God work mysterious ways. When he got you, ain't nothing can let go. Now, I'm around these horses, I'm comfortable with them, I ain't scared of them. I used to be, I'm a man, I ain't gonna lie. I used to be scared of them and didn't know nothing about it, but I know I gotta work to pay bills. That's how the world turns. It's better living, it's a life, and I wouldn't trade this for the world. I wouldn't trade this for the world.
When I got out of prison, I went to work at a farm in Tioga, Louisiana. And this was a quarter horse breeding operation. And after working there for about 3 months, I started being able to see my kids and visit with them, and ended up meeting my now husband, but had no idea that when we married, we were offered a job at a commercial beef operation and a racehorse breeding operation on an 1,800-acre ranch. We have been here now for 18 months. My boys have learned to love again. They've learned how to forgive. They've learned consistency. They've learned discipline. My boys' grades were D's and F's. They had discipline issues. And I want to be part of what Jamon is trying to do, because I know from personal experience that horses saved my life and horses are saving my children's lives.
It's been a great area to grow in, you know, and to live in. There's always been something missing, and that was things for the children. Sean comes over here, he does, you know, working and like mucking the stalls. I did that when I first moved down here. Feeding horses, of course, being able to think outside of the box and be able to use your critical thinking skills. That's what leadership is. So I believe this is really good for him and the community.
So my goal with Just Believe is I want to group kids. I want to take the kids who don't have a lot of leadership ability. I want to make them leaders. I want to teach them these skills and allow them to teach somebody else underneath them. I want to make these kids coachable, parentable, employable. My goal is, 3 months with some of these kids. I guarantee you all of them will be able to go get a job at the least, mowing yards, fixing gutters, carpentry. I guarantee you all the young men who come around my place right now can go get a job at any stable, any racetrack, leading horses, cleaning horses, grooming horses, whatever it may be. I think a lot of these kids are really going to catch on to this, especially the athletes, because there's so much emphasis on athletic training, fitness, footwork. These same aspects and concepts are, drove into a horse. How to move their feet, how to stop, how to go, how to be quick, their reaction time.
Step to his butt, yeah. No, don't move your hand. Keep your hand down. Use your left hand to push him forward. Walk towards his butt, walk towards his butt, walk towards him. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going towards his butt. There you go.
So we spent a lot of time bouncing around with, different organizations throughout the city, and we got the state fairgrounds locked in. Everyone in town knows if you live in Shreveport, you know where the fairgrounds are. I see kids walking across the fairgrounds every morning to school, on the way home. I see buses driving by. It's easily accessible. what better way or better place to establish a program than somewhere that, it's easy for everybody to get to. Parents, kids, anybody can come on out. I don't think that there's anything else that can make it any more easy on a kid as if he can go out and get a country experience at the ride of his bike with his friends 5 or 6 blocks from his house.
Had the fortunate opportunity recently to meet Mr. Jamon Turner with Just Believe, who's introducing a diversion program, horse program, for our inner city youth, and he's going to be using the facilities here at the State Fair of Louisiana to help our inner city youth. And the State Fair of Louisiana, we're all about doing whatever we can do for our youth, and especially our inner city youth that might need some rehabilitation or some diversion tactics. So we're very proud to be partnering on this and looking forward to this summer when it all kicks off.
I want to see this community mold young men and young women into proud residents of Shreveport.
Come and find me now, come and find me now, come and find me now, come see what you can see. Come and find me now, come and find me now, come and find me now, come see what you can see. All the stars are out, all the stars are out, all the stars are out, come see what you can see. All the stars are out, all the stars are out, all the stars are out, come see what you can see.
If you don't keep kicking, I'm gonna make you wear this hat.
Yes.